welcome to the NPCE Entertainment. This is football episode 4 or 5 or something like that. There was a Super Bowl that happened this past Sunday. That definitely was an event that happened with definitely no controversy at all. With me today, I have Logan returning with us again. Logan, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing pretty great. How are you?
I'm coping still, but it is what it is. I also have Cody, another person who's just as thrilled that the Chiefs won another Super Bowl, just like me. Cody, how are you?
Um, I think that was. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not okay, man.
Well, we didn't really. We're not going to line out topics because we're just going to kind of talk about the Super Bowl. I'm just going to jump right into it. What I thought. The game itself was good. I would say I was entertained for 98% of it, but I don't know how even if you're a Chiefs fan, I think you have to admit, I know you can't say the ring's fake or whatever, but there's some type of cloudiness over it, right? Like, come on. Like, you can't call that penalty. I just had to, I don't know. I feel like there's some type of cloud over it. Am I wrong?
Oh no, not completely. You're not completely wrong. I mean, it's one of those calls where it's like a 50-50 kind of thing. The ref can make the decision if he wants to throw the flag and if he just wants the guys to play it. Because either or, whatever he decided to do, it would have been correct. Because it's not
Yeah, I
necessarily.
mean, yeah.
It's
I
not
agree.
necessarily a hold, but it still classifies as a hold because he
Yeah.
restricted him from running.
No, you're right. Like, but I think okay, I agree with what you just said. Except I would not have felt this strongly about it. I think if the pass was close. I know that's not the rule for holding,
Yeah,
but
that's the rule for pass interference.
I
But if
know
it
it's
was
still the rule,
holding,
but it's still just the feeling. He wasn't going to catch that ball even if he wasn't held. Like, come on.
yeah, no, it was a well overthrown ball. He was not going to get that, and like the hold didn't restrict him enough to where it just completely killed the play. It was a little tug on the jersey for a ball that was overthrown by 10 yards. But even so, it's not the rule of a holding call. Holding call is any contact which restrains a wide receiver. Was it past 10 yards, 5 yards, something like that?
Well, maybe we're Logan. I know you're not an AFC West fan like us. Maybe we're coping. What did you see?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that my exact prediction from last week did come true. I said that it was going to be a one-possession game. It was going to come down to the final drive, and I trusted Patrick Mahomes to lead the Chiefs down the field and get them that final score. Obviously, I didn't expect it to end the way it did with that flag that some people deem controversial. But personally, I think it's the right call. I mean,
But
you hate to see
Mm.
you hate to see the game end like that, and I 100% agree with that. You hate to see the game decided by a yellow flag, but if you're going to call the flag, I mean, it is the definition of what a hold is. You can see his hand wrap on that jersey. You know, he admitted it after the games, like, yeah, I thought I
Sounds
could
like
get
you're
away with one. It was definitely a hold. You hate to see it end like that, but I think it was the right call.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, if you watch every single play from a bird's eye view, that happens on every single play. I guess that's my problem. It does. Like there's some form of grabbing, like to that. It's not
Oh,
like it was an
absolutely.
egregious degree. It would if the ball was on target. Let's say that. Let's just whatever. If the ball was on target, that wouldn't stop him from catching it. Like that wasn't gonna that didn't impact what the route was. That didn't impact what the play was. I just feel like I don't know that happens every play. I just feel like it was an extremely like you just have to just let the ball doesn't lie, man. I don't know. I just let you have to give the Eagles a shot. I mean, I know you don't
I
have
can
to,
definitely agree
but
with
like
that.
uh I don't know. It just leaves a
I
sour
can
taste,
agree
which
with
sucks
that.
because the game was good.
Um, with the whole bird's eye view notion, where any
Yeah.
down there could be a flag, 100%. And you hear former NFL players talk about that a lot, especially like, look, you can call a hold on the offensive line on any play. You could call a pass
Yes.
interference on a wide receiver on any play, and it just comes down to if the ref throws it or not. You hear that all the time, especially from former NFL players, and that's just an instance where they threw it. I I think by definition it was a flag. Should it have been throw-in? Maybe not, but I'm not mad at the call.
Right, because it's not called every time,
Right.
I guess. I don't know. It just sucks. It sucks to once again. This is the second regular season, or not regular season, but season week in a row where the first thing we've done after slated games is talk about a call that happened. Like that shouldn't be the first thing we talk about when we hot. Like the NFL does have a problem. I'm tired of hearing Adele say they're doing great. They're not. I'm sorry. And it's not just us. It's all media. All media is talking about the reffing. Like every single one of them. That's the hottest topic right now is the that call. That should not be the hottest topic at the Super Bowl.
Yep.
No, 100% agree. But I think one thing too that we have to look at, if there was like a lot of calls that could have been called on the Eagles as well.
No,
like
true.
Lane Johnson, this man's jumping for the balls. He's even snapped. It seems like almost every play.
That's every team, every game this whole season though. That's the problem. They need to fix that.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a good officiated game. It was one bad call that really ruined it. Like, if the Eagles fans want to use that as the reason why they lost, maybe they shouldn't have blown the lead. Like, what was it, 24-14 going into
That's not that big
halftime?
of a lead, though. That's not that crazy.
See,
That's 10 points, though. That's two possessions.
But I hate when people say, like, oh, I hate when every time a team loses something like this, they say that the team that lost choked. Not every loss is a choke. I'm so insanely tired of people saying that.
It's 100% not a choke because it wasn't dumb mistakes that cost them the game. It was the Chiefs played really good offense in the second half.
Yeah, the defense could have played better, sure. But I mean, what happens if Jalen Hurts get the ball back with a minute and a half left? Like, we'll never know.
We don't know, and that's the best part about the game, honestly. It's just the what ifs that could have happened, what could have been. You know, would have, could have, done off. Is that what it said? Would have, could have, should have.
Yeah, there you go. You got it that time.
Yeah.
To bring it a little bit back to the ref topic, I mean, it's every single year. You know, we see these refs in big games every year, not just this year. You know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Think of the Saints. They lost the Super Bowl because
lost the championship.
I mean, lost the chance to go to the Super Bowl. Excuse me.
Yep.
Because just of a horrible missed call. And something that it really comes down to is these NFL refs, they're not full time. They have other jobs. A lot of them are lawyers and stuff. A lot of them coach other professional sports.
Yep.
And that's something that really hurts, you know. The players, they get those refs basically 365. And the refs, they have an off period every single year where they're not employed by the NFL. Why not get full-time refs? Why not cut aside a little bit of your profits to put together a better game with better reffing and have them work in 365 for you as well, studying tape throughout the off season and figuring out what could have been better, what could have been
100%.
called, what couldn't have been called. And I think that would fix a lot of issues that we see every single year.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Because I think Neil talked about this last time we did the podcast with him, was that referees should be held accountable. If we're going to hold players accountable, call penalties on them for holding, doing this, and then we're going to get fined. Then they're going to get fined for, let's say, unsportsmanlike conduct, and then just stupid shit all the time. Why not fine the refs? Why not?
Yeah,
they get in trouble for shit. Like what they did with Joey Bosa was just unnecessary.
That was ridiculous.
This guy had followed him down the field to the sidelines and got in his face and then threw the flag. Why? Because he can do that because he's a ref, which is absolutely like nonsense. And they don't.
And then Bosa proceeded to get a fine, by the way, too. He got a $40,000 fine.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. These refs are just horrendous. This is worse than the replacement refs of 2012.
It feels like it because that was at least you had an excuse. I think the MLB is at least during the season because you kind of have to be for the MLB. I don't know what the NBA is though. Are the NBA refs full time? Do you know?
I'm not sure if this is just off the top of my head. I don't know the actual thing, but I'm not sure if any professional refs are considered
Yeah,
full-time.
well, I know baseball's like not because the season obviously isn't all year, but you kind of have to be full time though during the baseball season because you play every day. I don't. They need to do. They need to. I think I love the idea of the full time refs. You got to do something with the sky cam too, though. Like
Mhm.
have a fourth or whatever number sixth ref like that's reviewing calls live. Like the holding is sent, like we need an immediate yes no, like boom, make it fast. Like he approves
Yep.
or disapproves of the penalty. Like something like that. And it'd be
And
super simple. It wouldn't lengthen the game. Like you just
no,
right away, like boom, yes or no, is this true? Like I don't know.
and I don't know why they didn't take that from the XFL,
I have no
because the
idea.
XFL they were doing that. They had a guy,
Yeah.
and it was a live conversation that the listeners could hear, and they have their slow mo cams, multiple different angles. It's a live thing going. Oh, okay, yeah, this was a catch, let's say, or this wasn't a catch because this, and this. They relay it down to the refs. Refs, announce it to the stadium. They move on, and
Right.
they XFL did that, and I don't know why the NFL isn't implementing that just to
The
make it even
USFL,
better.
not XFL. This is XFL's first year back. You're talking about the USFL.
No,
Well,
XFL from a couple of years ago,
yeah,
like
remember
where
the
they
expert
had
Oh,
the
team?
like 6 games or whatever.
Yeah. No, there were talks they were going to do that. I don't know what happened. They just ended up not doing it or something. But I think the also I mean, as Cody was saying earlier, another problem is just straight up their egos. I feel like the reason that didn't pass is because they straight up do have egos. It's the problem with baseball too. Like when you see them throw out we see them throw out players, stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's just straight up their egos. Like, get over yourself. We're not there to watch you. You're not
Right.
the entertainment. I feel like that's a lot of their problems too, is why some of these new rules aren't getting passed within them. I don't know how their committee works or whatever, but I'm sure they have some kind of say. I don't know. They have an issue. They need to figure it out, and it's going to be very frustrating if it's just another year of doing nothing. Because I don't know. This has to be embarrassing how much is being talked about. Like this is the main takeaway of all of your games the past few weeks. I
yeah. I
don't know.
mean, another controversial thing too is I don't know if you guys heard the conversation between Roger Goodell, and Chris Jones.
Yes, that was weird. Oh
Yeah,
my god, Logan, did you
I
hear that?
didn't know.
Oh my god, that was weird. He said
yeah,
like, "I'm so happy you." I don't know. He said something super. You know. Go ahead, Cody. Go.
yeah. He was like, "I'm also happy for you. I don't care how hard you hit the quarterback."
Yeah.
And this is the most
Hmm.
penalized defensive tackle in the NFL. But here's the thing, right? He's the most penalized defensive tackle in the NFL. But it's on stupid calls where he like slapped Tom Brady on the helmet because he was going in for a sack, but he only like hit his helmet, tapped it with his hand. And was the one that he fucking just killed Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Literally Batista bombed him and they didn't call it. It's just something so stupid. I really think
That was just really weird. Just I get he's the. I don't know how I feel about the commissioner going down celebrating with players. That doesn't happen in any other sport, does it? Does Adam Silver trot down for the finals? I know. I know Manfred. You don't even see Manfred would get sniped at a baseball stadium if he made a public appearance. So I know Manfred doesn't, but I don't know. Does Adam Silver trot down and celebrate? I know he like gives him the trophy,
yeah,
but
but he doesn't celebrate with the team. That's just
right, like
weird.
jumping with that. That's so weird. Like I'm sure Goodell's rigging it for the Chiefs or whatever. Maybe he is. I don't know, but it's still just weird. Like you can't just be doing that.
It does not make sense. I'm not saying the NFL is scripted or anything like that, but there's definitely some fishiness that's going on.
It was. I saw that though. That I felt very strange watching that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll hop into the actual game portion then. Yeah, basically, as you said, the Eagles' defense just didn't really show up in the second half. Granted, their pass defense was hurt a lot from the field, straight up. Let's just be honest. The field impacted the game a lot. They weren't able to dig their feet in and get to the quarterback. Actually, let's go there. The field was shit. That was horrible. What the fuck?
The
And then
field was
people were
insane.
they're blaming the halftime show. It was happening before halftime. Why are
Yeah.
people saying that the halftime show is the reason? Like, no, it was not. Don't blame Rihanna, bro. Rihanna was fire. But no, everybody was slipping around before that. That's the reason the punt return broke loose. It's the reason they had no sacks. I don't know. Was the NFL purposely doing this to be like, oh, you guys want real grass, huh? Here's the shittiest real grass we could find.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
the
like the
punt return wasn't the grass's fault. I
If
actually
you
watched a
watched
really
it,
good. I
was
watched a
it?
really good segment of it on Pat McAfee show. He broke down the whole punt and play. He said that the punter kicked the ball in the wrong direction. All the gunners and stuff ran to one side of the field. He caught the ball on the other, so they had to rotate over, and he brought it back over to the other side and had that big return. But yeah, the
It
field
looked
was
like they were
horrible,
planting really slow, though. I
and
don't know.
I've definitely seen some conspiracy theories about exactly what you said. Oh, you want grass? All right, this is
Yeah.
the freaking grass that you're gonna use. Do you like that now?
Yeah, like, well, it's scientifically proven. I forget who was it. I think it was Patrick Peterson. Literally laid it out before he said for the grass, because obviously he played in Arizona. He was like, when they keep it outside, usually in the colder months they keep it just inside. They just open the roof. When they keep it outside and it gets nice and damp, because deserts at nighttime, it can get to like 15 cold in the desert at night. Like,
Yeah,
it
gets really cold.
freezes and then it gets really wet and damp, and then they bring it in right away, so it doesn't really get the time to dry off. There's just so many better ways they could have handled it. I don't know. It was
but
very
not
frustrating.
only that, it was also a new type of grass that they used.
Right.
Like, this is the first time they used this type of grass on a sporting event. Like, it just confuses me why they would do that.
How do you know there was types of grasses? Like, why are they doing it? Like,
I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. Maybe they're trying to find something that's cheaper, because like it's a type of sod that was made in Arizona, and everyone knows that unless you're going to northern Arizona, you're not going to find much natural grass. You know, you go to the
right.
Chandler, Phoenix area, even south more, it's mostly desert. It really is.
Right.
You might find some cacti and other strange bushery like that, but you're not going to find natural grass like what they use in nature. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. It's just something about the Super Bowl is really fishy. It was a great game. Don't get me wrong. One of the best Super Bowls that I've seen in a long time. But I don't know. It's just, I felt like the whole game could not be played to its full potential, surely on the grass itself.
Just imagine. Just imagine this. Imagine Game 7 of the finals. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna try out a new fucking wood. Everybody's gonna be slipping on it the entire game. Like that. It's the same thing. Like, imagine they tried a new hardtop in basketball in the finals. Like that's. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, for some people who don't know, obviously when you're running a route as a wide receiver, you're planting your foot as hard as you. I don't know if anyone's ever excited. You'd be surprised. Today was my first coaching meeting, and there's some guys who never played wide receiver before who want to play wide receiver.
They don't know how to cut.
They just don't know.
And the least important part of playing receiver, cutting.
Yeah. It's just a simple, just a simple turn of your hips, and your feet are going in one direction, and then your rest of your body's going another. And the next thing you know, you have a torn ACL.
Yep. Which thankfully that didn't happen though. Thankfully there was no injury. That was like, it was just slipping, but still, just I don't know. Absolutely, it's still embarrassing. And honestly, the commercials weren't even that great this year, too. I feel like it's been since like 2016 since the commercials have been like. There's obviously a few good ones, but it's been since like 2016 since I was like, damn, those were all pretty good.
Yeah, the only commercial that I honestly even liked this year was the one, what was it called? The Thule or whatever, the streaming one, where everyone freaked out. They're like, all right, who's got the remote? Who's changing the channel? This shit. Like, what's going on right now? Like, that was a good commercial. But I didn't like a lot of the commercials. They were just,
What year?
I want to laugh. A good Super Bowl commercial makes me either laugh or makes me in the feels. And none of them really made me do that.
I hate the feels ones. There was that one year, I want to say, I think it was maybe 2018, where it felt like every single commercial was a feels commercial. I was like, bro, like all those corny Budweiser commercials and shit. Like, bro, I ain't trying to see that. Like, come on, make me laugh. And there wasn't much of that this year. There's the Breaking Bad one, which was funny. Other than that, though, I can't even really think of any. Like, they're just so forgettable, which is just so sad to say.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. It's just they're not. I feel like there hasn't been a funny one since like 2012. Even was
Well,
the
no, there's some funny ones like here and there, but I mean like consistently, like every breaker, like damn, that was good. Like I can only think of one or maybe two that I actually genuinely thought was funny.
Yeah, no, I can't even think of any off the top of my head besides for the 2B1.
See, and that's just a shame. And that's not even like a funny commercial. That's just them pranking people.
Yeah,
Which I mean, it's creative. There we go. We'll go with that.
yeah, because we don't see that very often. Just like they actually interact with the viewer.
Right.
I feel like they did that on purpose too, like just so it can go viral.
Oh well, duh.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I didn't even know what
You're
fucking.
paying $7 million for it. You're gonna get your money's worth of
I didn't
it,
even
and
know
they
what
did a
Tubi
really good job
was.
of doing that.
I didn't even know what Tubi was before that.
Yeah.
Streamies gang, bro. But yeah, no, I mean, and now the Eagles don't have any coordinator. Well, I mean they lost them, I should say. They promoted people, but they lost both their coordinators, which I don't think is going to impact the team much. I think they're going to be fine.
Well, Nick Sirianni wasn't the one who's calling the plays on offense.
Yeah, but Shane Steichen sucks. Shut up. Don't want to. I don't care. Call me Coper. Just kidding. He did good with Herbert the 1 year, but I don't see that impacting the Eagles that much next year. I think they'll be fine.
Well, I think this is going to be breaking news within the week. Rex Ryan has emerged as the top
I just saw that as well.
for the Broncos defensive coordinator job, per Ian Rappaport.
That'd be so weird to see again.
It would be very weird. He's been out of the game for a while now.
Cody, I'm going to say this now. If the Broncos suck next year, I would delete all social media because they have zero excuses. If the Broncos suck, you will never hear the end of it from Yes Me. Like, this is, you're putting together an all-star coaching staff with the defense you have. Like, there's zero excuses. You have to make the playoffs next year now, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we do sign Rex Ryan. I get he's been out of the game for a while, but he's still a defensive mastermind.
That's actually true. It's been, what, 10 years?
What? No.
No, 6 or so.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
Really? Well, what
Yeah.
was his last job?
Last
I
time
thought his
that
last
he
job was
was
the Jets
coach.
job.
No, his last job was Buffalo.
Oh shit, that's right.
Listen,
Well, maybe he'll be okay then. I was gonna say defense has changed immensely in like the past 10 years, but if it's only been 6 years, he'll probably be okay.
yeah, let me check. When was the last time? The last time he was in was 2016.
Damn. See, I thought his last job was the Jets job.
No, over 20 years of coaching, and was the head coach for the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills. That's so weird, going right to a division rival.
Seems like him though. He's like that.
Yeah,
a little sleazy.
I can't brother though. Him, I don't mind. It's just brother, man. Oh. He's a bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody else is the other way around.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like everybody doesn't mind his brother and they just hate Rex Ryan.
No, his brother looks like him, but like in a 80s cover band.
That's why you hate him?
Yeah. He just, I don't know. It's something weird.
The
like
look of him, he pisses me off.
He looks like he would smell stale.
That's fair. That's valid.
Like smells like cigarettes and cat piss.
That I understand.
Yeah. I don't know. He looks like I'm not saying that he doesn't shower, but it's not his priority when he comes home every day.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The Broncos defense, you guys are pretty much retaining everybody for this next year, right?
Yeah, our only free agents are Alex Singleton and then Draymond Jones. And I think we're going to sign Alex Singleton. I would hope so. He played outstanding this year, and he's probably going to be wicked cheap. And then Draymond Jones, I mean, his asking price isn't high. And if he does walk away, then I say Sean Payton's probably going to bring back Marcus Davenport, who's also a free agent this year. From the
I like Draymond Jones personally.
No, I do too. I'm an Ohio State guy.
I would just be horrified. Rex Ryan has a big old fat ego, I'd be scared that he's not going to use the defense like how they were last year, and he's going to try to mold them and change them into how he views they should be, and that's going to fuck up some shit. I feel like.
Well,
I'd be a little cautious on Rex Ryan personally.
Like this defense that we have is really young, so I feel like they would be okay mixing things up. Like if they have to switch to a 4-3 instead of doing a 3-4, you move Baron Brown to the defensive end, and then Randy Gregory to his natural position at a.
See, the fact that they're young, that scares me though. I feel like it'd be the other way around. They're young, so they had a really good year. Now you want to come in and switch up all the schemes and shit? I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing really else that you could do. This guy's real name's Ashley, by the way.
Whose?
Rex Ryan.
Oh, that doesn't fit at all.
Rex Ashley Ryan.
What the fuck were his parents thinking? That's horrible.
I don't know. Buddy Ryan used to do crack when he was on the Eagles.
Good old 1980s sports. You had Daryl Strawberry tripping on cocaine and acid.
Literally.
And then you had, what was it? What pitcher was that threw a no-hitter on acid? Absolute goat.
Oh,
for the Pirates, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Absolute goat. That's on my bucket list.
And nobody named Brendan Deeg, who is a bum. To get this right, if you do listen to this, you are a bum. You are a ginger bum.
Wait, who are you talking about? I don't even.
Guy's name is Brendan Deeg. Like
who?
Brandon, it's Brendan, like a fucking chick.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get to this. He said
okay.
Sean Payton hiring Rex Ryan as his defensive coordinator is hilarious. He hasn't coached in 7 years. So Brendan Deeg, you ginger bozo, you look like a pedo Santa. He hasn't hired him. So shut the fuck up. Go cry. No one likes it.
Wow, that's insane.
Brendan Deeg _ Brendan Deeg _ So you're a bum.
Wow. That was a tangent.
Yeah, he's a Chargers reporter, so he's gonna hate on everything that any other US team does.
See, I think he's spitting. That's the thing, though.
Listen. I wouldn't mind. What's her face? Oh, something Rose. Oh, crap.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
I have no idea.
Hold on.
Cody is just on an ADHD tangent right now.
I don't know what's going on.
I think next year, if depending on what happens with Rodgers, next year I think the AFC West will be what people were thinking it was going to be this year. Because I think the Broncos will have shit clicking next year. I do. I genuinely think they'll make the playoffs next year.
All right. Why does Rex Ryan look like Rosie O'Donnell?
We're over this, Cody. Stop.
Look at it. Look. Oh my gosh, I can't unsee it.
The Chargers won't have Joe Lombardi. They'll have Kellen Moore, who's a much better offensive coordinator statistically. If the Raiders can get Rodgers, again, that's a big if, then I think they'll be floating mid-tier. I think next year the AFC West will be what people thought it was what it was going to be this year, I think.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think that this could be the year that Russ maybe returns to his old self. You know, Sean Payton was a quarterbacks coach with the Eagles, where McNabb wasn't McNabb with 98? No.
98.
Myself. But Sean Payton is a quarterback whisperer, truly, and hopefully he figures out what's wrong with Russ. And hopefully the Broncos be good again. Maybe even just make the playoffs, because that's not hard, right?
It's gonna be hard. It's
gonna be hard.
A tough AFC. It's a very tough AFC.
I think it's a tough AFC because I think 2 teams out of the AFC West are for sure booked. Like you can count that, probably 3. I think so that just makes it tougher.
I mean, Bills.
I think we all agree.
Miami, Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals, Ravens. If Kenny Pickett has any sort of development,
Steelers aren't that bad.
Yeah, Jaguars, like
you can almost book a ticket.
Jets are quarterback away. Patriots.
No,
I don't know about the Patriots, but
Jets are,
it's a tough AFC.
That's true. And you already saw people thought the AFC West was going to be last year, like I said. So you never know. But it is like that. You feel like you can just book 5 teams right now for next year for the AFC. I feel like the NFC isn't like that. The NFC, nobody ever knows, at least
No,
this bad. Like, it's so much different.
this past year was
Weird.
you could not predict it for the NFC. It was very strange. I don't know anybody who had the Seahawks making the freaking playoffs. I don't know anybody who had the Giants making the playoffs. Who had the
Not only making
Eagles
the
undefeated
playoffs,
through most of the year. Like,
not even making the playoffs, but the Giants were dominant for a good section of that. And then they won a playoff game against a team that was very good.
Who had a good offense, but the worst ranked defense in the league. So yeah,
Right.
But yeah, I think personally with Derek Carr being released, he's going to sign with the Saints. I think everyone knows this is going to happen.
That's the Saints division, then, I think.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
a division with Derek Carr there because he has Chris Olave, he has Michael Thomas. Maybe you go out there and you give him another weapon. You have Alvin Kamara. Do they go tight end? Do they go wide receiver? It's really up to whatever Dennis Allen feels like doing. But if I'm the Saints, I'm using pick 29 on getting him a downfield threat, like a speedster that can go down the field.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I mean the Bucks are done. The Bucks are toast. I guess maybe the Panthers could surprise some people. I think maybe I don't think the Falcons are doing much. That's the Saints division. I think if they get Derek Carr.
Yeah, no,
I
I
agree.
agree. I think the Falcons, they just have too many holes, especially on that defense. I mean, that offense is slowly getting to that level with
They're still really young.
Drake London. Yeah, there's still a lot of growing to do on that offense, but there's also some holes that are going to grow in the offense depending if they choose to re-sign Caleb McGrary over there, because he did phenomenal in the run game.
Right.
It's a matter of if they do want to re-sign him. Then you have the Panthers, where no one knows where they're going to go in the draft right now. There's talks about Will Levis. There's talks about C.J. Stroud. There's talks about going even Bijan Robinson. It's like we said in our episodes a few ago where I talked about Sam Darnold, how he went off at the end of the year. Now, do the Panthers choose to draft Anthony Richardson and let him develop and get coached behind Frank Reich, who was a great quarterback coach?
Yeah.
And let Sam Darnold finish out this year?
I think
year's contract. I don't know. You just don't know.
I think you see what Frank Reich has with Sam Darnold. So I think that'll look pretty good, honestly. I don't think Sam Darnold's that bad. I think he played for the fucking Jets. I don't know. I think he could be something. Like, not like elite, or maybe he could. Who knows? But I definitely think he can be a starter, like a solid one.
Yeah, because he wasn't bad last year. Like when he finally got the chance to start, they didn't have CMC anymore. They were rocking with.
They were weaponless.
Yeah,
they had no Robbie Anderson, no CMC,
and he still went off. He still tore up one of the better defenses in the league at the time with the Broncos. It's just, I don't know. People just need to see that Sam Darnold can be a starter in this league. It's if the Carolina Panthers, do they see that as well? And if they do see that, do they see him as a long-term starter or someone who can help out in developing a guy like Anthony Richardson, who I think has the highest ceiling but the lowest floor with these upcoming prospects?
Know what? I'll book it now. NFC Championship next year, Saints Panther. No, I mean that'd be a fun NFC Championship. It's not gonna happen, but yeah, we'll do. I think a little. Maybe not next week. Maybe a week after. We'll see. We'll do like a full off-season preparation. We'll go through, or maybe we'll do like by division. We'll go make it a longer thing. Like we'll start next week. Maybe we'll start with one division. We'll go through like their situations and what they should do. So we'll get into the off season then. I don't know. Is there anything else about the Super Bowl you guys needed anything to say?
I'm upset that Jackson Mahomes got to celebrate.
See, I just am happy that there is something I could use to cope with. There's something I can say when a Chiefs fan brags. That's all I care about.
I mean, considering that during the regular season, the Broncos kept it close with the Chiefs, Yeah,
Hey, so do the Chargers.
yeah. I mean, I can kind of brag about that. It's like, well,
With Joe Lombardi. So, hey, who really won that game?
you know what? I hope Joe Lombardi stays as far away as the Broncos as possible.
See, if he gets signed to your guys' OC, I wouldn't worry. He's not going to call the plays. But still, just having his brain there, his brain rotted offense that the 5-yard hooks. Hey, look, Jerry Judy, I know you're a talented receiver, but do you want to run a 3-yard hook on 3rd and 8?
Judy, I know you're
Hope
one
you're
of the
ready.
top underrated route runners in the whole NFL, but what if you get a screen pass?
Yeah, what about a bubble screen on 3rd and 12?
Guys, I understand it's 3rd and 18, but hear
Slant.
me out.
God, I'm so happy. All right, well, I think that'll be it for us here for the Super Bowl. If you want to check us out on YouTube, check us out on TikTok. I know we're going to be doing some gaming shit soon. Probably going to be doing some movies soon. We're getting the ball rolling. Yeah, thanks everybody for checking us out. We will see you next time.
Take care.
Adios.
And if you liked what you heard today and you want to know more about some NPCE content, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Learn more about us. Other than that, guys, you guys take care.